Welcome to a provocative dive into capitalism's heart. Today, we're tackling a bold question: does capitalism thrive on chaos? From the 2008 crash to COVID-19's $4 trillion stimulus, crises seem to fuel profits. Notably, $1.5 trillion was gained post-2008. Are these shocks the secret engine of capitalism? Join us to uncover why crises drive growth, who benefits, and how to prepare for the next one. This is the crisis paradox. Let's dive in. Why do crises seem essential to capitalism? Economist Joseph Schumpeter's Creative Destruction explains it. Crises, like recessions or wars, destroy outdated systems. This paves the way for innovation and profit. For instance, the 2008 financial crash cost $2 trillion globally, but it cleared failing banks. This enabled tech giants like Apple to soar. Naomi Klein's shock doctrine further explains how elites exploit crises for deregulation and privatization. This led to $1.5 trillion in post-2008 profits. Crises reset markets, lower labor costs, and boost investment. The Great Depression birthed New Deal infrastructure, spurring substantial growth. A famous quote states, "Capitalism uses crashes to reinvent itself." But how does this reset work in practice? Crises act like economic wildfires. They burn away inefficiencies. The 2008 crash wiped out overleveraged firms. This freed capital for tech startups. By 2010, venture capital investments hit $23 billion. This fueled the gig economy. Similarly, World War II boosted US GDP by 72% through military spending. It created 17 million jobs during this period. Pandemics, too, reset markets. COVID-19's $4 trillion US stimulus in 2020 stabilized banks but inflated asset prices. Tech stocks surged 50% by 2021. Crises drive adaptation. Remote work tech grew 20% post-COVID. Yet, some criticize this cycle, stating, crashes just shuffle wealth to elites. Who really gains from this recurring cycle? Crises reinforce capitalism's geopolitical order, often favoring the West. The US dollar, central to post-crisis recoveries, strengthens during shocks due to its reserve status. It accounts for 59% of global reserves. After the 2008 crash, the US bailed out banks with $700 billion, cementing financial dominance. Military spending thrives during crises, securing important trade routes. However, BRICS is challenging this order. After COVID, China's $500 billion stimulus boosted its GDP by 8.1% in 2021. BRICS controls 44% of global oil. This could shift crisis dynamics significantly. Some warn, Western capitalism needs crises to suppress BRICS. But what cost does this come at? Crises amplify inequality. After 2008, the top 1% gained 31% of US income by 2012. The COVID crisis was worse. Billionaire wealth rose 54% from 2020 to 2021, amounting to $4 trillion. Meanwhile, 100 million people fell into poverty globally. Stimulus packages, such as the $2 trillion CARES Act, often favored corporations over workers. Natural disasters enable profiteering. Hurricane Katrina saw $60 billion in reconstruction contracts, often mismanaged. Power grid failures drive sales of generators. Critics lament, crises make the rich richer. Can capitalism function without this stark disparity? Capitalism's crisis addiction carries steep costs. Inequality is rampant. The top 1% hold 32% of global wealth, fueling significant unrest. Environmental strain is another factor. Growth imperatives drive emissions, with 70% coming from fossil fuel firms. Fragility is apparent too. It's risky if recoveries rely on debt funding. Survivalists advise diversifying assets and learning self-sufficiency. Monitoring BRICS's rise is essential. Redirecting $200 billion from military spending to green technology could create 1 million jobs. Critics urge, capitalism's crises are engineered, prepare for collapse. Without reform, capitalism's crisis cycle may ultimately implode. Thanks for watching. Does capitalism need crises to survive? Comment below. Like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe for more insights on economic survival. Stay informed, stay prepared. See you next. Welcome to a provocative dive into capitalism's heart. Today, we're tackling